women. And I don't want it to be brutal. Lunch is very important and much more pertinent than what I'm going to speak. Since they invited, I need to fulfill my ritualistic responsibility. Okay. And I'm not from the education sector, so pardon me, I don't have any key insights. Only key insight is why, when I saw the whole crowd here, I thought it's a time to de-womanize the education sector. Yeah. Let me share a couple of things. 3 aspects I would like to share and conclude very quickly, maybe 7-8 minutes. One is, I think it's the time to make teaching as very competitive field. This is not like priests in a temple. Okay. That is the reason, for some reason unknown to me, is considered as very benevolent profession. So therefore, I think historically, because before coming here, I was doing a little research. Is there a gender preference in the sense gender allows a particular competency for the women to be teachers, but I didn't find any research that supports. It doesn't say that a woman has any particular capabilities or competencies to be teacher. Other than looking at historically, they are quite competent, but they should not be in competitive sector, therefore they end up in the teaching looks like. I'm sorry if I'm raising some very disputed argument here. And my job took me to travel outside India quite often. And since large part of my life I have spent in IT sector, we used to hire hundreds and thousands of people whom they call for fancy sake as software engineers. So therefore I observed that if I look at countries like in North America or Europe, even some of the Asian countries now like Japan and South Korea, why these societies are advanced phenomenally and some are not. I think the emphasis they provide to the education, if I look at their finance budgets, are as a percentage of the GDP significantly higher. And 5 times funding comes from the private entrepreneurs and the private sector, which I don't see in India. So that is the biggest issue, I think. Though we have Nirmala Sitharaman as the finance ministry, as I said, gender doesn't provide any key competency. So therefore, she also provides in budget about 3 or 3.5% of the total budget to the education sector, where the number of people to be groomed in education are 7 times that of United States, but half the budget as a percentage of GDP. We need to understand, let us be practical, unless you have money, you can't really revolutionize this sector. That is my key point. First, have money, and don't make this profession as a benevolent. It has to be as competitive as investment bankers if you really wanted to improve the education. And don't listen to the people they come. It is like teachers are like Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu incarnations. They have to be good in this, they have to coach, they have to groom, they should know this, they should know that. Arif, please talk about salaries, please talk about benefits, please talk about career. If you want, you can have the better teachers. If you want to clean up anything, that is the first. Second, I observed now I see surge of IB schools everywhere. And I said, what happened suddenly IB? Oh, people wanted to internationally recognized there is an IB. No one said that IB would provide this particular skill, so therefore we have adopted IB. Now some joker in the United States of America or Canada would recognize this course, therefore let us all do stuff. Now the problem of education, especially in India and anywhere else, of course, in India it is very, very prominent. That is not competency based, it is very intelligence based. I remember very well, when I'm a humanities graduate, we used to appear for this bank probationary officers exam, civil servants exam and all. I got an exam, it's a bank probationary officer of State Bank of India. The question is, Hari Prasad Chaurasia plays flute on what Gharana? Hare my God, Hari Prasad Chaurasia, what Gharana? If you are a banker, what is a teller, what is credit, what is debit? These are things you deal. Whether what flute, what I have to do. Therefore, we actually test for intelligence, not for competency or creativity. Now I travel between Bangalore to Chennai in my old job very often. Rama knows the number of engineering colleges. My God, all real estate guys thought that if they can build a building, they are engineering college. Not even a single professor worth to name in any of the engineering journals. And after 5 years, they have to convert those either as cyclone shelters or marriage halls. I don't see anything. And in terms of the creativity, it is the lowest. The number of patents, those are generated from India, are 0.2% of the world share. Now people in the rest of the world, either they talk about OpenAI or DeepSeek, blah blah, we tell big IT capital of the world, not a single. So don't get misled by that. There are no real software engineers. That's why humanity is graduate like we ended up managing IT capital. So we understand. So don't be that. That is the second problem, that some joker called Binet developed this IQ test, which is a proficiency in languages and math, as if they are going to win the world. Since Modi fared very poor on those tests, he has become Prime Minister successfully third time. And therefore, Hyderabad is run by real estate guys who are either graduation dropouts or 10th class dropout. Many of civil engineers work for them. So you go, this is the plight of when you train people on intelligence but not on competency or creativity. And your daily life, what you require is these two things. And third biggest problem is, I go to any school and then I ask them, they have teachers for all subjects, but to build social skills, hardly there will be one, two. Let me tell you what plays a key role is the social intelligence. That is the only skill that after AI evaluation teachers will left with. Either they have to teach creativity or they have to teach social intelligence. Now what happened to the newer generation, their interaction with the machine is so high. About 70-75% of the time they spend either with their mobile phone, iPad, computer, driving a car, ATM machine, blah blah and all that. So their ability to interact with a human being is progressively coming down. It is a huge emotional stress to deal with the person. Therefore, the prediction is by 2042, every second person you come across in the world will be a single person. They are not married, they don't have any family, there is nothing. End of the day, human societies are built for the social networks, not for anything else. So now there is no regard and no focus to build social skills. And if I give an example before I conclude my talk, because as I said, lunch is more important, that is more relevant. If you take Hyderabad city, we studied has about 24,000 physicians. In this society, securing an admission in MBBS is very tough. Further, securing an admission in MD is further tough. And if you ask in Hyderabad city, how many of the physicians are successful? Not more than 60-70 of them, out of 24,000. Now when you go further down, whether it is 70 or 60, whatever the number, are very successful, are the gold medalists, have secured high positions in their academics? No, most of them. Incidentally, 4 or 5 of them maybe. But the thing is, they have the social intelligence to give confidence to the patient. When the patient comes, they will give the confidence, it is very normal fever, don't worry. You go to a big gold medalist, that fellow will make further worse the patient condition. So we call in psychology, this is thoughtful uncertainty. If you know more than what you ought to know, you become dysfunctional and they become teachers. I am very sorry. Why I will tell you. I asked someone here that I wanted to go to airport. How much time it will take? They look at it and see, looks like this guy will go by car. 40-45 minutes or 15 minutes at the best. I asked a road researcher. Then he will look at me, he will ask me how you wanted to go. I'm going by car. What kind of car? What is the capacity of the engine, chassis and all. I answer all of them. Okay, how many passengers will be in the car? Are you self-driving or there is a driver? There is a driver and you are the only passenger. Okay. Tire length, volume, So you will ask all. So I answer all of them. Then tell there are 3 routes to go to it. If you go to route A, it will take 42 minutes. But today, the Bharatiya Janata Party has called for a procession. If that crosses, that will become 61 minutes. If you take route B, it will take 49 minutes. If the second signal, red light comes, automatically 5th, 9th, 11th, 4th will become, so you add more time. The third one, you have to cross Mohanjai market, but today there is a fish market they lay down, it may take more time. You'll ask, what question did I ask this fellow? So therefore the problem is, the socially intelligent guy is very intuitive. And lot of people tell now, what happened that they have dated for 6 years. Before coming here I was asking, they are on the verge of divorce. I said, what is that you guys discovered in 6 months which you could have discovered for 6 years? Spent. I said, that's a foolish thing in life. No decision would require to take more than 4-5 minutes. That's your intuitive feeling, especially in relationships. Whether you are okay with this guy or not okay with this person. That's it. Now 6 years you have spent, what you guys spoke, which is the capital city of Ethiopia, what Czechoslovakia is doing, what that will nonsense it is. So please focus more and more on social intelligence. So these are the 3 things I will share. So thank you very much, and you all have a great career and great